Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Geek Games podcast. I'm your host, Cody Tetrick, and I'm alongside my friend Sam Suvak. Sam, how's it going?
Pretty good. You're looking pretty good tonight, sir, I have to say.
Thank you. If you're wondering what she means by that, I got a haircut, shaved all the hair off, so it's growing back slowly but surely. So if you watch the video version, you see that.
Yeah, super short. Now, if only you do something about that beard.
I do need to clean the beard. The beard's looking really bad.
It's getting pretty bushy. I mean, not really, but I mean, enough for me, so.
And well, we haven't discussed this off air yet, but I have an idea for our Halloween episode. We can dress up in costume, and I have a costume idea, so I need to possibly shave the beard off. But
wow, see, I would have thought.
I don't know if you've ever seen me without a beard. I don't know if anyone has seen me without a beard. So it'll be interesting.
Okay, let me propose this. How about you cut off your beard, and I will grow one for Halloween?
I'm 100% down with this. That sounds amazing.
Let me tell you something.
You have to actually grow one.
Well, I mean, I've been trying for years, just nothing happens. I haven't shaved in years, let me tell you. I have in the past. You can get temporary tattoos, and you can get ones that are beards or just mustaches and stuff. That's a horrible idea. Do not ever do that if you don't intend to have that thing on for multiple days. Because let me tell you, that's not just a single day affair. That bad boy does not want to come off once it's on. I remember scrubbing my face so hard with alcohol trying to get this tattoo off, and it took forever. It was horrible.
You went to work the next day and everyone's just like, Sam, all right? Someone punch her in the mouth? What's happening?
I don't even remember because I feel like maybe we did it at work. Or maybe not. I don't know. We've done temporary tattoo stuff. Oh no, that's sexual harassment. We won't stand for that. Yeah, temporary tattoos. Just be careful, guys. I think I've also done stuff with markers on my face, and I may have done a little bit too permanent of markers. So I've just had lots of bad experiences.
We're getting on some wild tangents, but when I used to work at the daycare by my high school, all the kids wanted to dress up as Mario and Luigi, so we got these markers that they said were skin safe.
Oh no!
And drew mustaches on them, and then one of the kids started complaining that it's burning. So all the kids started complaining that it was burning. So that was a very long bathroom trip to get the stuff washed off. But
oh no!
The price of having a cool Mario mustache.
Well,
All right. Well, welcome to the Geek Games podcast, everyone. That was a very long tangent. We got a little bit of housekeeping to do. So Friday, October 19th, we're having a community night. We're going to be playing Dead by Daylight, which was the free PS Plus game a few weeks back.
A few months back.
So that's not all. It's a few months back. Did I say a few weeks back? My bad. That's not all. October 26th, we're having another community night. And this one is for a very special game. That is the current PS Plus game for October. And it's Friday the 13th, the video game.
Ooh. How exciting is this? Cody,
excited.
Did you just lose your shit when you found out this was the game?
Yes, because first of all, I feel like a lot of people have just kind of been weaning off that game. Oh, it's not getting new content, but it's free to everyone now, and it's really a fun game to go sit in a party with people and just have some laughs, or if you just really like killing counselors. But yeah, so yeah, October 26th we're gonna do a Friday the 13th community night, and then October 19th we're gonna do a Dead by Daylight one. So
no, wait.
Definitely
switch that, reverse it. The 19th is Dead by Daylight. The 26th is Friday the 13th.
Yeah, I just said them.
I thought you said them
out
backwards.
of order. I should have said October 19th date first, and then 26th. Okay. I said the 26th one.
Okay, I got it. Let's let it go. Let's move on. Let's move on. You guys know what's happening. We're playing games. It'll be great.
And as we said last week, we are doing Extra Life this year. We are part of the podcast Posse. You can get there by going to geekcardgames.com/extra life. We're going to have a couple days of coverage because our good friend Megs is in Australia, so she is starting on her Friday, but that is actually our Thursday. Mm-hmm. Thanks to the power of time travel, you're going to get some coverage across a couple of days.
Yeah.
And as we get closer, we'll reveal some schedules and what we're planning on doing and stuff. I've reached out to a couple people for some ideas for things. So yeah, it's gonna be a good time. We're gonna be raising some money for charity. Thank you to everyone who's donated so far. We appreciate that. Um, it's been really fun. We're gonna definitely raise some money. I think we're pretty much halfway to our team goal already, I
We're
think.
no, we're way over that. I think the
Oh, we
team goal
are.
was 500, and I think we were at it. There was one point we were at 420 because I was like, haha, 420. But I think we've been
Nice.
up to like 450 now. So I mean, we're almost there. We might need to raise our team
Oh,
goal.
nice.
So
Okay, yeah, I'll get on that. So thank you guys so much for helping us get there already. Like it
yeah,
hasn't even started. We're still a month away. So
it's awesome.
all right. And because it is October, we are having some horror check-ins. We're checking in on the horror stuff we've been watching. So Sam, tell me about these movies you've been watching.
Okay, so the first one I watched was called Friend Request, and this is like social media thing. So there's this girl who's like really into
Yeah.
Facebook and stuff, and then she gets this friend request from this kind of like creepy social reject kind of girl, and she's like, oh, what's the harm? She's probably just lonely, so she friends her, and then it turns into like a complete stalker, not okay situation. And like at that part I was getting real uncomfortable because like that kind of stuff just like, I feel bad for the person. I'm like, oh please, let's just be cool and like be a good friend, it'll be fine. And no, she's like psycho lady. And then murders start happening, and it's pretty interesting because there's like this mix of kind of like the black magic supernatural stuff with technology, because it's still like tied into Facebook, and like stuff is happening there as well as real life. So it was all right. It was a fun. Yeah, I don't know. Here's the thing. I was really tired that night that I was watching it. And so
Oh,
like by the end of it, I was just like, oh my God, I'm so tired. And then I was like, wait, did it just end? Oh, okay. I guess that was the ending. I'm good. I was just so ready for bed. But it was good. It had like a fun little twist that like I didn't see coming, that I was like, oh, that's pretty interesting. That's an interesting way to deal with this. So yeah, it's a fun one, pretty relevant because of the way society is now and our social interfaces. Because yeah, it's like it's kind of scary to think about that happening. You just meet someone
yeah.
online, you're like, hey, actually, I mean, she was a real life person. She was in class with this lady, so like she knew her, but still, just like you meet someone and then they just go crazy on you. I'm like, oh dear. So yeah, it's kind of like, sure, it's a decent movie. So there's that. And then just last night we watched a movie called Thirst, which, fun fact, if you search for Thirst on Amazon Prime Video, you get like 10 different movies named Thirst. And a lot of
Oh
them
wow.
look like horror, but not all of them. So we were like, man, we should just like, for all of October, we should just watch all the Thirst movies. So, but the one I'm talking about is these like juvenile delinquents get sent out into the wilderness for a second chance kind of expedition retreat, because like they've been in trouble.
Okay.
While they're out there, there's this alien that's crashed and it's killing people. And
Um,
yeah. So he's got like this sucker thing that comes out of his chest, and he like latches on and just like drains all of the blood, and people just like get super dehydrated, mummified looking.
that's pretty cool.
It's pretty cool. It's I really liked this movie. I had a really good time with it. But I will say like the monster was just like not the best. It's kind of, how those horror movies have like the monster's kind of hidden and it's dark and you only see flashes of it, and it like keeps the suspense going because you're like, I don't know what this monster looks like, but it's probably really scary. So this one kind of does the opposite, and it's just like, hey, here's the monster. He's out here for you to see, and like he'll be out in the daylight running around, and he just wasn't like super scary. At times, it felt a little bit like like an old school Godzilla monster movie. He was just kind of like, I don't know. He just didn't look great. But that didn't like take away from the movie too much because it was still really good and I still really enjoyed it. So that one is one that I would definitely recommend. So it's a good time.
All right. So that was Friend Request and Thirst.
Exactly.
Now I've seen parts of Friend Request,
Yeah.
but I don't remember this twist you're talking about. But I do remember that movie being
It wasn't
very
like a
creepy at
huge
times.
twist. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was just someone did something and I'm like, oh, I wouldn't have thought to do that. But yeah. So.
All right. So one movie I overlooked last week. I had watched it and just completely forgot about it. It's called Mandy. It is a new film featuring Nicolas Cage. You can get it on video on demand most places, and it was in select theaters for a while. Uh, so Mandy is this. I wouldn't say it's a movie. It's more like an experience, and like it's something. So like the first half of the movie is very like trying to set like an aesthetic to the movie. Like it's very different. Like it's not something you're used to when you're seeing a regular movie. And then probably about the last 30 to 45 minutes of the movie is a drug-filled revenge tale. Um, and it's fucking amazing because it's Nicolas Cage being fucking crazy. Um, he sports a battle axe at some point, and you would think, oh, he's gonna lose that battle axe really quickly. Nope, he chunks that motherfucker at somebody. It's amazing. There's chainsaw fights, one chainsaw versus a long chainsaw. There's a tiger.
Oh shit.
Uh, this movie is crazy, but super good. We got into a discussion on Discord. I'm a big Nicolas Cage fan. I like a lot of his movies. He's made a lot of bad movies. I'm not. Wicker Man is not good, but I think I don't know. There's something about Nicolas Cage that I just enjoy. So yeah, I definitely, if you can, and it's only like $4 to rent on the PlayStation Network. So like, it's just $4. If you can get through the first half and like get to the point where Nicolas Cage is being a badass, I think it's definitely worth it. Um, the other thing I started. So I've always wanted to watch American Horror Story. I remember when the first season was coming out, I was like, "Oh, this sounds amazing! Like I like horror, a TV show called American Horror Story. This seems really interesting to
Mhm.
me." Uh, I think I got to like the second episode, and there was a dude in like a fetish gimp suit, and I was like, "What's going on? I'm not into this. No, thank you." Um, but on Netflix, they got all the seasons up, so I was like, "Well," and someone told me, "Oh, you can watch any season. Like they're
Yeah.
not tied together, so they're all like contained." So I was like, "Oh." Well, let's watch this one in Asylum because it's got Evan Peters in it, and I like that dude. Quicksilver, my boy.
Evan Peters, I believe, is in every season, FYI.
I, is he
And
in season one? I thought he
yeah.
showed up in.
Oh
Oh,
yeah.
okay, cool.
Oh yeah. I mean, and he's like usually an important role in every season. So,
Oh,
yeah.
okay, good. Okay.
Hmm.
I was either choosing Asylum or Roanoke. I think it was like 2 seasons ago or something.
Hmm.
On those are the ones I was debating between,
Yeah.
and I went with the Asylum one. Um, I know what's going on in this season, so I feel okay with that. I'm like, okay, this is good. I'm liking what's going on. I like the characters a lot. Um, when they say American Horror Story, they are going covering every topic of horror because like there's zombies, there's murderers, serial killers, aliens.
Oh
Uh,
yeah.
I'm at some point I'm sure a werewolf and a vampire are gonna show up. Like I'm just waiting for it. There's fucking exorcisms, demons. Like I'm only like 5 episodes in, and I'm like, this is a lot of shit. Like I was not expecting this. Like I was like, this is gonna be an asylum. The dude from Maroon 5 got his arm ripped off in the first episode. That was
Oh
fucking
yeah.
crazy.
I forgot about that.
Um, but yeah, I'm having a lot of fun with it. Like I think I'm gonna finish up this season. And I think I'm gonna watch the Freak Show one next.
Yeah.
Because there's a cool looking clown in that named Twisty. I want to see that. Yeah, like I don't know. And like I know Netflix and Amazon Prime just had a bunch of new horror stuff, so like I'm really looking forward to start diving into it. Uh, our friend Melissa over at the Silent Scream, they released their 31 Days of Horror podcast finally, and I was gonna do one in our Discord, but like I completely forgot the first day, and I was like, well, I can't like just put two things. Okay, isn't happening. I'm just gonna like talk about a lot of horror in the
That's
coming
fine.
weeks on the podcast.
That's fine.
Um, but
Um,
yeah, American Horror Story, a lot of fun.
yeah. Yeah. I watched, I think, 4 seasons of it. I think I stopped in Freak Show, and I don't remember if I finished that season or if I just stopped halfway through. But it's had some good stuff. I just
Yeah,
entered that stage where I've just stopped watching TV pretty much. So,
yeah,
like, and also I don't have cable, so like I have to wait for it to come to Netflix or whatever. So, but it's
yeah.
fine.
And I think it's handy that it's only like the seasons are 12 to 13 episodes. Like I think there's one season that's 12, and all the others I think are 13. So like it's short, so it is nice. So
It seems like a misstep to not have them all be 13 episodes. It's like 13 is what you think of for horror. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I feel like I was going to say one more thing. Oh, I was listening to The Sirens of Scream 31 Days of Horror. I'm not done with it yet. It's a long episode. But one of the movies that they talk about is Grave Encounters. Oh,
yes.
I know, right?
I love that movie. Did they love it or no?
Well, I mean, they wouldn't have put it on the list if they didn't. But the one who was talking about it was like, yeah, this is a great movie and I love it. I mean, a lot of people think it's stupid, but I'm like, oh, you know.
It's okay. I gotta go listen now because yeah, I love Grave Encounters. It's one of my favorite movies.
I know we talked about watching it, so we have to get around to doing that. So
we do. All right. So let's get to the meat and potatoes of the episode. Where do you think that phrase "meat and potatoes" came from?
I mean, that's
like an old English thing.
It's the main course of a meal usually, but I was thinking we need to we need to be open to vegetarians, vegans. It's not always. Let's get to the fake meat and potatoes. I ate a lot of fake meat this past weekend because my friends are vegetarian. So I had some good fake meat. Let me tell you, man, it was good.
Sam, we did not even talk about you have been in Colorado. How was your vacation?
Yeah, it was good. I mean, we ate a lot. Pretty much all we did was eat things and then walk like a ton. We went hiking a lot and then we just like walk around town. I mean, let's not talk about that, Cody. There's stuff that's legal in Colorado and that's fine, but we don't need to discuss it here. But yeah, we had a good time. So yeah, that was fun. Oh, that's wait, let me just tell you the most important thing, okay? So I went back to the arcade in Manitou Springs and I talked previously, like last year when I went, there was this like Skeeball horse race mechanical game where like you throw your skee balls and you get points and like they make the mechanical horse go down the lane. And so it's like a race. And you got a bunch of people like all trying to get their horse to the end first. Last year didn't go so well. And I thought the game was rigged because this one guy kept winning. I was like, oh, whatever. This time, guess who won big at the horse races? Are you gonna guess?
I'm assuming your friends.
No, it was me, Cody. It was me. Oh! I kicked so much ass. Big surprise, right? Yeah, so we had like a bunch of people. There were like 10 people playing the first time. Because if you have 10 people playing, whoever wins gets a mug. So I was like, fuck yeah. So I won a mug because I was just like so good. And then some people left, and so we did the next game. There weren't 10 players, so I just won some tickets because I won the second time. And then I was like, man, I wonder if I'm just on a hot lane, and it's not just me. So I was like, okay, I asked my buddy Ian to switch with me. So we switched, and it's true, I did lose that next game, but this other guy, this stranger that we didn't even know, he won. But then the fourth game, I was back on top, and I stayed in the bad lane, but I was like, man, I got it. So I won 3 out of 4 games, Cody. I'm like, my skee ball hand is just like off the charts good, apparently. Who knew?
I've never heard anyone refer to a lane in skee ball as a hot lane. So thank you for that. And that's a perfect segue into our what we've been playing section. So tell me all about your experience with Tomb Raider. I'm
not talking about Tomb Raider this week. I took it off the list.
You had it written down.
I took it off the list. Okay.
When? Like 5 minutes before the show?
No, I took it off like days ago. Guys, here's the thing. Tomb Raider's great. I played a bunch of it, but then we had the Resident Evil episode, and then I went on vacation and I haven't been playing it, so I'm like, I want to go back to it and play some more before I talk about it. So that's why I took it off. I didn't want to talk about it yet. I'm sorry. He's just going to mark it off the list. His note's there.
Marking it off the list. Tell me about Hollow.
Okay, so I was going on this trip and I'm like, I want some games to take on my Switch so that I can play while I'm, whatever. So Hollow is this horror game that's on Switch. And I was like, how many horror games are on Switch? I should probably get this regardless. So I did. So you're this dude who wakes up on a ship. He doesn't know who he is or what happened. Again, I like my amnesia. I'm like, this is going to be great. But it's one of those like survival horror where you just kind of have to go around and find stuff. And the atmosphere is kind of okay, but like the sound effects are not great. There's like this white noise in the background that's really annoying most of the time. And it's not the best made game. Like everything looks the same, like all the scenery and stuff. There's a map that's really useless because like it doesn't show you really where you need to go. There were a lot of like glitches where like the screen would just like freeze or jump a lot, and I was like, what's going on? At one point I just like walked too close to a wall and I got stuck in the wall and like couldn't move, and I was just like, what? So I had to like close the game and restart it. But there was like, okay, I'm just going to keep at it. There must be something cool here. So I eventually got a gun, some kind of like particle shooter. I don't know. It looked cool. And this enemy attacked me, and it was a pretty terrifying looking enemy. So it's this woman, and she looks like her body's been all cut up and like sewn back together. She's also naked, which I don't know why she has to be naked. It's fine. But she has like blades for like arms and legs, which is real scary looking. And she like comes at you, and like you can shoot her, but like she'll fall over, but she'll get back up unless you blow up her head. So and you also have like a melee kick that you can do to like knock her down, but it does no damage. So I was like playing for a little bit more. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna try to do this, but it wasn't super fun. I didn't know what I was doing, and like you constantly don't have ammo, and the ammo is not easy to spot, to pick up in the world. There's like, so I'm sure I missed a bunch of it, and I was like, okay, I'm just gonna play a little bit more, and like, I don't know, but I wasn't having fun. And then I got to this room where like a half dozen of these ladies attacked me at once, and I didn't have any ammo, and I was just like, nope, I'm done. I don't want to do this.
6 people? That's crazy.
Yeah, it was like a horde of them. And I was just like, this, I don't know. And so then I went online and was like reading this review, and he was like, no, this is a horrible game. Like, Hollow is true to its name. It's a Hollow game, and it's not very fun at all. So I was like, okay, I don't want to finish this. If I'm not the only one who hates it, I'm like, it's just fine. It's fine. It was very disappointing, but I don't know.
Well, that sucks. I mean, did you have more fun with Immortal Redneck?
Let me tell you about Immortal Redneck, okay? So this is another Switch game. So I was like, I need games on my trip, right? And I just couldn't find anything that really sounded exciting to me. But this one, it's a first-person shooter, and you are the immortal redneck who has gone to Egypt and kind of gotten mummified, but you came back to life, and you have to go kill monsters in these pyramids. And so it's procedurally generated dungeons, and it's a roguelike. And so I was like, I don't know, it's like I don't really like that kind of game, but I mean, I gotta get something. So I was like, I'm probably not gonna like the shooting, but I'll do it anyway. So I got it. Cody, based on what you know about me and the type of games I like, what do you think I thought of this game?
So you say you don't like roguelikes, but what does Resogun count as?
I don't know.
I feel like it counts as a roguelike. Or am I just mixing up genres?
I would say not exactly, because I mean, you're not like, you just like play the level and die. You don't get any improvements to your ship from doing that. Like, you never like improve. Okay. It's just like a straight run. So.
Okay. I'm gonna say you liked it just a tiny bit.
Okay. So you were supposed to be like, no, you probably hated it. And then I'd be like, no, joke's on you. I loved it. So turns out I really like this game. And I like where you're going with the Resogun thought, because actually Skyforce is another shooter like that. And it is more roguelike, where you play a level, die, get some improvements, and go back and do it again, and so you can get past it. And so I think that has kind of warmed me up to the roguelike thing, because like I'm having no problem with this one. I'm just like going in there, shooting stuff, dying, coming out, doing it again. And I think it's just because, like, if the gameplay is fun, then it doesn't matter. Like, it doesn't matter if I still haven't made it past the first pyramid. I just keep going in and dying, but I'm having fun. So, like I said, the shooting is not great in this game because, like, you know, the Switch doesn't always have, like, the best controls, it seems like. But it has aim assist, and I can clearly see, I swear, it's like, I'm like half an inch away from somebody, and I'm still hitting them. I'm like, this is fantastic. I'm A-okay with this. It has a fun soundtrack that's kind of a Western kind of theme. The monsters are crazy. There are these like frogs that hop at you that I hate the worst because like they're so hard to dodge and get away from. But they're like pretty creative looking enemies. Like they're not like things that you would necessarily like. I thought maybe there'd be like mummies and stuff, but apparently I'm the mummy and there's just like other random like ghosts and ghouls. And you start with one base set of weapons, and then as you're getting gold in the pyramid, you can, after you die, you go to the skill tree, which is literally a tree, which I like that. And so you level up and get different things, and you can unlock different, like, favors of the gods, which are different classes, and pretty much just give you different stats and different guns. So I've gotten a few of them now. Like, I got really excited yesterday because I unlocked this one, I think it was Sekhmet, who has like a healing factor. So like anytime you've got like gold or collectible, you can activate your ability and it'll turn it all into health potion things that you can pick up. Actually, it's meat. It's a health meat that you eat. So I was like, this is going to be great. But she has the worst weapons in the world. There's just like this Ankh that you like kind of fling at someone, and it flings like a spectral Ankh at him and does like very little damage. And then you have like dual pistols that again do very little damage. And then you have like this fire fist, which sounds cool, but then like you throw these flames, and like I would always miss with the flames. Like I couldn't get my timing right. And it only has like 6 uses until you have to get more ammo for it. So they were just horrible. So like I'm not going to play that one anymore. But it's really fun. You get in there. Sometimes you kill an enemy.
Sounds
and
like it.
Yeah, sometimes you kill one and it'll drop a new weapon for you, and you'll just like, you can switch out one of your current weapons for it. Sometimes there are chests, or sometimes enemies will drop these scrolls, which will give you special abilities. So like one of them was like gives you a chance to poison enemies. One like makes enemies deal less damage. There was one that was like, this will replace all of your weapons with random weapons. And I was like, yes, let's do that. And so I got a whole bunch of new weapons that I'd never played with before. One was like a crossbow. And then I had these throwing knives that those are my favorite, but I still haven't unlocked the class that like starts with throwing knives. But that was a lot of fun. There was this one scroll that was like, hey, you can have an Illuminati come and like help you on your fight. And I was like, fuck yeah, I want this. But I don't know if I pushed the wrong button or something, because like I backed out of it and like I didn't get my buddy. Like, I don't know. I didn't have anybody come help me. So I was really disappointed with that. There's no fall damage.
Illuminati is not real.
Well, there's that. Yeah. What is that, the symbol for Illuminati?
I don't know.
It's a triangle. It's the symbol for the pyramid. I'm in the pyramid. So I think the pyramid has 3 floors that you have to get to complete the pyramid. I think I've only made it to the 2nd floor once, and that was because I found a scroll that revealed hidden stuff in the pyramid, so I knew like where to go to get to the secret passage to get to the 2nd floor. But otherwise, like I haven't cleared a floor yet. I die a lot. And so you die, you go spend your money at the skill tree and go back. One of the things you can unlock in the skill tree is a merchant. So the merchant, you can go buy stuff from him. So you could like buy a scroll to start when you go in the pyramid. When you're in the pyramid, sometimes you get blueprints for medallions. And so then you could like buy that. And I think that's something that you would keep with you permanently. So like there's one that I can buy for like increased damage and also increased health, which I need to buy that. But I unlocked that other class, which was a mistake. So next time I'll get that. But pretty much anything that you don't spend while you're in your skill tree or with the merchant, you have to pay as tribute when you go into the pyramid again. So you can't like bank your money and like save up for something big. Like you just have to have a really good round to get enough money to be at something big. The good thing is like, so like if you have like 100 gold left, you have to pay 100 gold to get into the pyramid. But if you have a real bad round in the pyramid and you die before you get any money, you can still get in the pyramid for 0 gold. So I found that out the hard way. But yeah, it's just like, I'm having a blast with it. Like I don't want to like stop playing it. Like I've got my Switch right there because I was playing it for a little while before we got on right now. So it's I highly recommend it. It's probably going to be in my top 10 games of the year because it's nice. I'm having a blast with it. So yeah.
It sounds really cool. I want to give it a shot. I've been liking those roguelites lately, so.
Yeah, we both have. It's like surprising. We're growing as gamers. It's awesome.
It's our year of growth.
Yeah.
With roguelites. All right. Now, you went on an adventure to Colorado, but I went on an adventure of my own to find a certain game that I'm about to talk about.
Okay.
So let me take you back, way back to 2013. There was something referred to as a creepypasta on the internet of a certain man in a suit with a pale white face, no features. The Slender Man was a creepypasta, and he got turned into a video game. I don't know if you remember this game.
Wait. Stop, rewind. Okay, so Slender Man was pasta before he became anything else?
A creepypasta is like this, I think it was a website called Creepypasta.
Okay.
And it was like this person wrote up this story about this Slender Man who would kidnap children, like made it sound very real, like very creepy.
So it's not food.
Not food.
Okay.
You cannot eat the Slender Man.
I mean, you could if you're a cannibal.
You could. So this game came out. You're supposed to like walk around, find these pages, and Slender Man is chasing you. It was very popular on YouTube. A lot of YouTubers were uploading videos of them getting scared crazy by it. So my friend bought this game on his laptop. And I'll come back in later. So I was like, well, I want to do something special for the podcast this week. I want to go play a horror game. I was like, man, I really want to play the original Slender Man. Like it was such a like flash in the pan, like lightning in a bottle game. Like it was popular as hell back in 2013. Like legitimately, you couldn't get on YouTube and not see the big YouTubers playing it. It was like how now Five Nights at Freddy's is, or not now, but like over the past year-ish, Five Nights at Freddy's has been popular.
I don't think it's still as popular as you're making it out to be. I don't think it still
is. But yeah, Slender Man was just crazy. So I was like, oh, let me just message my friend. Maybe he still has the game somehow. So I was like, hey man, how you doing? And he's like, I'm doing good, man. How you? And I was like, just hey, I do a podcast, and I was explaining it to him. I was like, you wouldn't still happen to like have the account to get that Slender Man game, right? Because I had found like you can't download that game anymore. There's like a copyright thing. He was like, oh no, I'm pretty sure I lost that. But I still got the laptop where you used to play it on. I was like, oh shit. I was like, hey man, you do anything like Tuesday? He's like, no, you want to come over and play it? And I was like, yeah, I'd love that. So he's like, I don't know if his laptop's gonna work because it's from 2013. Well, we're gonna give it a shot. So I went on a journey for this podcast, play the original Slenderman game. I'm here to tell you, it does not hold up.
I could have guessed that it does not hold up.
So from what I understand, this was, I'm not trying to shit on the guy who made the original Slenderman game. It was a one-person job from what I understand. So the guy did a very good job for what he was doing by himself. But like the graphics in that game were very bad looking sometimes.
It was 2013.
But like I said, one-man job. He did a really good job for the time. I will say, I still got super scared when I was walking, and then my screen would get all fuzzy, and I was like, oh shit. The furthest I got was 5 pages. I believe there's 8 in total. 8 or 7. I I couldn't find a sure number on that because it
Okay.
changes in each game. Um, got 5 pages. I was pretty proud of myself. I rounded a corner. Fucker was right there. And I almost threw the mouse that this dude had in the air. I was like, oh God. Um, but yeah, it doesn't hold up as well.
Is it the
I can
type
see
of
like
game where you play through and then you die and that's it, or are there like
that's
save points?
you reset.
You
You reset
completely
it.
reset. Okay,
Yeah.
sucks.
And so like I remember watching people play this game for hours and just like they get to seven, I think it's 7 out of 8. And they would round a corner and he'd just be right there and instantly
Yeah,
dead. Um, so yeah, I just wanted to go back and experience a really old horror video
yeah.
game. I do want to go play because on PlayStation you can get Slender the Arrival, which I know
Hmm.
was actually done by a big studio and like had a lot of work put into it. It's multiple levels. I do want to try that and just, compare and contrast how far Slenderman has gone.
Yeah,
But it was definitely interesting to go back like in time and see this very old game. Not really very old, but
yeah. Old
an
enough.
old game that I had played a very long time ago.
Yeah,
Um, I will say I do think this game kind of spawned these games where you are being chased by a monster almost, like Outlast.
and can't fight
You can
back.
definitely
Yeah.
and yeah, and Can't Fight Back, and it's produced the jump scare games like Five Nights at Freddy's.
Hmm.
And I mean, there are thousands of Slender Man games out there. I remember watching gameplays of all of them. Um, and so like I think it was very interesting to see like where horror video games have gone come from this. But yeah, like Outlast, I can definitely see like took some not didn't take from, but like the whole oh he's right behind me.
Hmm.
Oh the screen's shaking a little bit. Whereas in Slenderman, oh the screen is getting fuzzy if Slenderman is near you. Um, and then like this ties into like the horror movie stuff. The Slenderman movie came out this year. It did not do very well. It was received very poorly by everyone. I agree, it was not very good. Um, and so it kind of sucks because like I feel like Slenderman like I said, it was lightning in a bottle. Like had it
Yeah.
gotten love and treatment it deserved, I think it still could be a very popular video game series. I do think there's been some lawsuit copyright stuff going on with
Oh.
it, because like technically the guy who wrote the creepypasta about it says he owns it, but then the guy who made the first video game says he owns it, and the people who made Slender Arrival said they own part of it, and then Sony owns the movie rights somehow. So it's just a long process. So I do think
Yeah.
there's some copyright stuff there. Um, but yeah, it was just fun to go back and like it got me to talk to an old friend again and I
Yeah.
went on a journey for it and I gave it one thumb up. It was fun. It was a fun
Okay.
time.
That's awesome.
So
Big thanks to your friend. What's your friend's name?
Zach,
Zach. Good job, Zach, for hanging onto that laptop and just coming through
yeah,
when like a random old friend calls you up and is like, "Hey, can I come play games with you?" That's awesome. So,
um, yeah. So it was interesting. He was like, "You just want to play Slenderman?" And I was like, "Yeah, play Slenderman." But yeah.
nice.
So so we got one more game to talk about. It's actually kind of a new one, Sam. I
Yeah.
guess a new
Super
game.
new.
First time in a while. So we got Forza Horizon 4, which we both were looking forward to. I need to go get it downloaded on my Xbox. But how are you liking it so far?
Um, so I'm kind of like a little bit in the middle with this game. I think it would be a lot of fun with friends playing if you're all
Hmm.
together.
Yeah, agreed.
Just by yourself, there's really fun things, but the big thing for me is the races are too long and they're boring. Like whenever I was doing a
Oh,
race, I'd be like, "Good God, is this over yet?" And I just like wasn't super into that.
mhm.
But that's really the only negative. Everything else was really positive. And the absolute best thing about this game is the races that you do, it you get like participation awards. It doesn't matter. Like you don't have to win a race to progress in the game because I've had that
Mhm.
problem before with other games where I would hit a spot and I'd be like I can't get past this cuz I can't win the race and then like I can't play the rest of the game. This thing, let me tell you, Every race I played, I came in 12th out of 12, last place, and it was no problem at all. I got my participation points, and like my influence leveled up, and I just got to keep going and going. New stuff kept popping up on the map, and I was like, this is amazing. So it's like such a good feeling that this game just wants you to play and have fun. You know, it doesn't matter if you're good at racing, like you can just keep going and having a good time. So that's really cool. There's other little activities that you can do. Like I've only unlocked a little bit of this, but there are stunt runs that you can do. So that there's a movie producer doing stuff. And so like you have to drive the stunt car. So like you have to like race over and like jump through this windmill, which is pretty cool. And then you've got this weird little like rocket shaped car that you have to like race down the coast to get a good shot. And you just have to not take too much damage on it before you get to the end, and you have a certain time frame. And that one was tense because I was like, oh my god, because I'm not a good driver, I'm real bad at this. But I barely eked through on that one. Then there are these like just stunt jumps around the map where you like go and like try to jump really far, and you get like 1, 2, or 3 stars for how well you did. There was something else, I don't remember. But there's like beauty shot areas where you just go and like, I guess there's going to be like a fun landmark and your character is just like there and you get like a little scenery shot of it. And what's really cool is like when you level up, you get to spin this like magic wheel, which is like a loot box, but it's a magic wheel and you just get a prize. And so I'd gotten some emotes. So I had a fun dancing emote. So while I was like on this little landscape thing, it was just showing me like dancing there, waiting for this to pass, which was really cool. You've got a little bit of player customization. So like you don't get to like make your face or whatever. There's a standard set of characters and you get to pick one of those. But then you get stuff from the magic wheel where you'll get to change your clothing and outfits. And then once you reach a certain point, you'll be able to start customizing your car. And so you can paint it and apply like shapes or stencils or different things on it. And so like I did that for too long. I had a real good time with that. So because I had 2 cars at that point, so I was coloring up my cars. Okay, real weird thing about this game. So you're doing your race or you're just driving around the world, whatever, and you see other people, like you see their car and you see their gamer tag above it, that they're out there with you, right? It's lies, Cody. I was not like in an online area, I don't believe. I think it was just like populating it with people and like random people. So like some of them were on my friends list. Some of them definitely have not played Forza Horizon 4, okay? So I
saw you were talking about this because it showed you that like Melissa had beaten you in a race and you were like, what?
Yes, like almost every race, like Hugh, I know Hugh has been playing it, so these might have been his actual valid times when he did it, but it would show me against him, Melissa, who has not played it at all, Eric, who I don't know if he's played it, and just like a couple other random people on my friends list. Interestingly enough, you and Alejandro never showed up on it, and so I was wondering if maybe only shows...
Because we're so high up.
Yeah. Maybe it only shows people who've played a Forza Horizon game before. Like, I don't know, have you ever played one?
Nope.
Yeah. So I know Melissa has played them in the past. So maybe, like, if you've played them, it just, like, puts you in there. I don't know. But yeah, so, like, every race, Melissa was kicking my ass. One time she came in first place, and I'm like, this is crazy because she's never played the game. And I just feel like it's really weird because, like, you might see one of your friends on there and be like, message and be like, hey, man, come play Forza with me. And they'd be like, no, I don't have that game. I haven't played that game. And you're like, why are you lying to me? It shows me that you're playing it right now. And I'm just like, dude, like, you're taking some liberties here. I don't know.
Yeah.
It was weird. But yeah, after you reach a certain, like, checkpoint, it opens up where you can go do the multiplayer stuff. And so I jumped into that for a little bit and it was fun. I only did like 2 activities, I think. So the first one was survivors and zombies. And like if you're the zombies, you have to go tag the cars that are the survivors. And then if the survivor gets tagged, they have to go tag one of their healthy teammates to get uninfected. And so it's just like whoever you do like 2 rounds and whoever can infect the most people. That was okay. I was a real bad zombie because like I'm not good at hitting other cars. When I was the survivor, I got infected a lot, but I was able to tag my teammates to get uninfected, and I also uninfected some of my teammates who were infected, so I felt pretty good about that. And then the next mode I played was like King of the Crown or something. So like 2 players on each team have a crown, and the other team has to try to tag them to steal the crown. And it's just whichever team has the crowns the longest wins. And that one was okay. I had the crown for about 15 seconds. I think I just got lucky. But yeah, so I feel like, oh, and then the next mode was going to start, but I had to go to bed. It was way past my bedtime. I stayed up too late, Cody, playing this because I was having a real good time. But the next one was...
That's good. That's a sign of a good game.
I know. It's really fun. It was going to be like a capture the flag. And so like somebody would have a flag and they'd be trying to take it to your area base, and you had to like prevent them from getting to your base. And I'm sure there's more. I didn't get to play it, but we need to get a group together. I went ahead and started a gaming club on Xbox called Geek Racers. So we should get some people together and go play this. Because like I said, I think it'd be a lot of fun with a bunch of people together. So, yeah.
It seems like a fun game with people. Yeah, definitely solo. Maybe those team games you were playing sound good though. So.
Oh, also good thing about this, like you can have it where it's just cosmetic damage on your car. So if you run into stuff, like it doesn't ever slow you down or affect anything. It's just like you can run into stuff and it's fine. And part of what you do to get skill points is run into stuff constantly. Like if you smash into scenery, like you get like landscaping awards and doing stuff, and like it builds up your points and you get a skill point to spend on something. So it's pretty cool that it has that mechanic in it. So you're not just supposed to be driving straight down the road. You get points for going off road and doing crazy stuff. So yeah, it's a lot of fun. And it's free on Game Pass.
It is free on Game Pass. Have you done any races where like the weather's changed mid-race? Because that was one thing they really showed off during the preview.
So the first race that you do, it just kind of takes you through your racing, and then it'll be like, oh, and now here's the season changed, and like it changes in the middle of the race, and you like go through that. So you go through all 4 seasons in your first race. Okay. And I will say, I hate driving in the rain or like when you're splashing through puddles, 'cause like all that stuff gets on your windshield and you don't have windshield wipers. I don't know why, but it's a pain. So I don't like the rainy season.
I didn't know it was a first-person driving game. I thought it was like top-down car, third person. Or can you swap
can go
it?
either way. You can go.
Oh, okay.
So yeah.
I was like, what? First person? Okay, interesting.
I feel like I had been in third person though, because I think I tried first person and I didn't like it. But regardless, I still had trouble with that rain. I don't know. But yeah, it's fun. You guys should play it.
Forza Horizon 4, free on Game Pass.
Yeah.
Because Xbox is cool like that.
It's pretty cool.
All right. We got a quick Destiny report, our new segment where we talk about Destiny. And the first part of it, we're showing off these guns. Oh, but is that my gamer tag? Oh, is that a Solstice of Hero shirt? Oh, look at these things.
Look at these awesome shirts.
Yeah. We got our Solstice of Hero shirts in finally. I recommend you wash yours immediately because it smells awful.
They smell so bad. I can't believe you're wearing yours right now. I couldn't have done that. I'm like,
yeah, it is rank.
That's dedication.
Dedication. So quick Destiny update. Currently, the team I'm raiding with, we have gotten 4 out of 6 things defeated in the new raid. I'm very proud of that. We've been working hard. Let me tell you, this raid, something else. I think so far it's my favorite raid of all time. I actually had to write stuff down so we could remember it for a raid fight.
Oh wow!
It was fun. I am 1 triumph away from getting the Gambit title. It's going to require some dedication, but it's going to be mine. And I'm super excited. They just announced today we're recording. October 16th is Festival of the Lost. There's going to be a costume party, and we get to solve a murder. I'm there. I am in for Festival of the Lost. I think Destiny 2 is killing it right now with Forsaken. A lot of fun. That's the Destiny report for me. Sam, what's your Destiny report?
I don't have a Destiny report. I've been away for a week, like I haven't played it. But
Good point.
so the Festival of the Lost, do you think it's going to have a bunch of tedious tasks for us to do? And then if you do them, you'll get the privilege to pay money to buy a shirt.
No, I don't think so. I think so in Destiny 1, they gave up masks for different like bosses and stuff
Okay.
like that. I think those will be back obviously because it's just some funny little cosmetic thing you can do. Um there have been some rumors that there's a quest for her Festival of the Lost that rewards an exotic machine gun
Yeah.
called the Thunderlord.
Ooh, that sounds
Um
cool.
and it's from Destiny 1, so Destiny 1 people that's a rumor. That's what I've been hearing. If it's true, it's exciting because we were apparently only getting machine guns, heavy machine guns, and black armory. We may get one before that. That's really cool to me. Um, but no, I think it'll be some cool stuff. I think they really improved the events. Uh, like I think like Solstice of Heroes was really fun.
Yeah.
Um, so I think they know what they're doing. So yeah, I don't think it'll be too tedious, and I don't think there'll be anything tied to it. I think they have the Bungie rewards set up, and they have what they like.
Okay.
Like everything right now is tied to, I think, the seals. So yeah.
Quick question, because we had talked about going back and doing the first raid with our original buddies, because we never finished the raid. Because now that we're overpowered, it should be fine. It should be easy. I was listening to the What's Good Games podcast, and Andrea said they had some people that were high level. They had a few, they had half and half. Half were high, half were average, but still higher than what was required to be in there. They went into the raid and it was not easy. It was not a cakewalk. So I have concerns. Cody, what are your thoughts on this?
Uh, I think as long as we can get the mechanics down, because here's the issue. I love Andrew Renee, and I'm not calling her out or anything, but she hasn't played Destiny in a while. She just came back to it with Forsaken. So I don't think she was, she probably doesn't remember. It's been a while. She probably doesn't remember doing that raid. Meanwhile, my mind's like a steel trap. I remember how to do everything in that raid. So I got you guys. We're gonna do it.
But
I'm gonna walk y'all through.
she was just saying her powerful weapons should have killed the enemies faster, and they were not. That the enemies got scaled up to be harder to deal
I
with.
don't think that's true at all.
Okay.
Because the level it caps off at 300 for that first
Well,
raid.
okay.
I don't think that's true.
All
I don't know
right.
about that.
I
I'll
expect to
do some
go in
research.
there with my 500 plus level and just decimate enemies. That's what I'm expecting.
You should be good. You should be
Okay. All right.
good. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So guys, we have a very meaty news section to get through because we have been bad and we haven't done news in the past 2 weeks.
I would say we haven't been bad. We've had our priorities, and you just gotta
Good
deal with
point.
that.
Good point. So we're gonna catch up on some news that's been going on for the last few weeks. So first up, Sony has announced they're releasing a mini PlayStation 1 console. They revealed 5 of the 25 games. Um, Hot take, I don't care. I don't care about these mini consoles anymore. I think they've run their course. I think they're just an easy way for companies to make money because people are going to go buy them and then flip
Mhm.
them on eBay, Etsy, stuff like that. So I just don't care about these anymore. If it's got a cool game on there that I remember playing, because I did have a PS1 with my brother, so if there's a cool game on there I remember, maybe I'll buy it. But currently, I just don't care. Sam?
I feel like we're in agreement here. Like when I first heard it, I was like, "Oh, cool! I never had a PS1. Maybe I can play a bunch of cool old PS1 games." And then I'm like, "I don't want to play a bunch of old games." So it's like, yeah. I played that
We get a
Resident
mini
Evil.
PS2. We can talk. Maybe some business there. I like some PS2 games.
But like some of them have been like mastered, remastered, whatever to work on other consoles. And like you can get
That's
them
my
that
beef
way.
here. Is that if you're putting so much effort into these mini consoles, why are you just not putting them onto current gen consoles? Like it can't be that hard to do it if you're putting an entire mini console together. But
It's
hey,
about
that's just me.
money.
It's about the money. They know they can get more by doing
Yeah.
this versus putting it on the consoles. So,
But hey, good for people who are actually excited about it. So, but hey.
but tying into what you said, Sam, we do have a question from our friend Mike. So would you like to read that?
Yes. So Mike was checking in here. He said, can older video games be respected and loved by younger generations like movies and books have? Obviously, movies and books have a lot longer history than video games, so sample size is much smaller. Wanted to hear your thoughts. So, my first reaction when reading that was no, we don't appreciate old stuff. To which Byron immediately posted, well, yeah, what about like Super Mario Brothers 3? And I was like, well, shit, he makes a real good point. Because, like, I feel like that game is a classic and it remains good regardless. So, I feel like there's these buckets of people, right? So there are the people who really loved these games when they originally came out, and like they would still have an appreciation for them. There are people who played some of the original games when they came out and were like, these games suck. I don't like them. They like the new games now. And so, like, no, they don't have an appreciation. I fall in that bucket. I'm like, no, I don't want the new stuff. But then there are people who have never played these games before, and it's something new and different. And I think they definitely can have an appreciation for that because it's just like, you know, look at what these people did back then. They like made this thing out of nothing. Like they didn't have all of the fancy technology that we have today. And these are what games were like. And I think people do have an appreciation for that. Melissa in our Discord, her son Max loves the old retro style games. Like she hates them. She's with me here. But he loves to play them. He's like, I don't know how old kids are. Less than 10, older than 2.
I think he's less than 10.
Yes. So yeah, I mean, I think it's possible. Cody, what are your thoughts?
Um, yeah, I definitely agree that like people can appreciate them. I mean, if you look at what is becoming popular on like the Nintendo Switch, is a lot of
Mm-hmm.
return to those older style games with those bits we don't know about. But also like people are always gonna have games that they love forever. Like you said, Super Mario Bros. 3, Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time was always heralded for being amazing. Um, the original Halo game, like there are these older games. I do think when you're looking at video games versus movies and books, there's a difference in years. Like people can be like, "Oh, I really love Casablanca from back in the day." That's a long time ago. But you say, "Oh, I really love Pong," that wasn't like not as long. Um, but like people still like those games. Like Tetris is, I think, probably the most widely loved game by a lot of people. Like it's just simple
Yeah.
and yeah, I think you can definitely have an appreciation for older video games. I think there's a video game museum somewhere, and it's all those old games, and I'm sure people go see it all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, and I mean, hey, like we just talked about, these retro consoles, people love them, so people appreciate those old games. So yeah,
All right.
all right. Moving on to our next little bit of news. So Red Dead Redemption 2 had an online beta announced for November. Now you're probably like, why is that a big deal, Cody? Well, the game comes out in October, but the online is launching a beta in November. Um, so they kind of talked about how the reason they're doing a beta is because they're going to test some stuff. I think they did a similar thing with GTA 5 Online, uh, where GTA 5 Online launched after the main game came out, probably about 2 months. I think this is kind of smart because you don't know how popular this game is going to be. Like a lot of people are excited for it,
Yeah.
but like you don't know like how big to make the server. Is it going to crash all the time? I'm sure they have game modes that they want to keep uploading. Like GTA 5 Online has kept GTA in the top selling list for the past 5 years. So I'm sure they want to like be 100% sure that Red Dead Online can equal that because this is going to be their new game for a long time. Uh, I do just think it's weird that they announced it's going to be a beta. Like you could just said, "Hey, Red Dead Online is only going to launch in November." So weird that they threw the beta tag on it.
Well, because we were discussing this beforehand, because I needed clarification, because they said it's a public beta, but we think you have to have the game itself in order to be in that beta.
Yeah, because at
Which,
the end of like end of the announcement, they're like, if you have the game, you can play it.
yeah.
So I feel like when they say public beta, it's just they worded it weirdly there. But no, it's if you have the game, I'm pretty sure. It'd be weird if
Maybe
you
we're
could.
wrong. Maybe anybody can do the beta. I don't know, but it just seems weird. If it's only for people who already have the game, it's weird to call it a public beta.
Yeah, and that would be a very interesting choice because, as we said, GTA 5 Online has kept that game going. So
Yeah.
maybe they are going to release the online differently from the main game.
Hmm.
So if you just want to play online and be a cowboy robbing pe people, it's gonna be interesting.
So do you suppose so in Red Dead Online, are you going to be able to make your own character, you think?
Yeah, because in GTA 5 Online, I have to make my own character. I made mine look like Matt Murdock, put him in a red suit and everything.
Nice. So like I could make a lady cowgirl,
Yeah,
probably.
I wouldn't see why not.
That'd be cool.
Oh, yeah,
I
yeah.
watched the second gameplay trailer that came out recently, and this game looks real good. I mean, it might have been recent. It might have been a couple weeks ago that it came out. I just now watched it. But yeah, I'm like, man, this game does look really cool. But also, like, I'm not into this
Yeah.
big open world crap. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. I
Yeah, right now I'm like, all right, do I want to pick up Assassin's Creed Odyssey? Do I want to get rid of just two? But then there's Destiny. I'm in a weird state right now where I don't know what I want to play.
I feel like I know what I'm gonna get from Assassin's Creed Odyssey because it's just I mean it's gonna be cool, but it's gonna be another Assassin's Creed game. I'm like this Red Dead is something different, and I mean it could I don't know
Yeah,
it looks really cool. Even though I'm like no, don't
it
buy it, don't
does.
just buy it. But I don't know, I might end up just buying it. So we'll see what happens. We'll see how much self control I have. I don't know.
That's it. I mean, if you're a Red Dead fan, you got some cool news there. We are getting a beta in November. So yeah, I mean, we're the way time's been moving, we're gonna be hitting in Red Dead time pretty soon. So it's gonna be interesting to see what people say about the game.
Yeah, yeah.
All right. And moving on to a little bit of sadder news. So a studio is closing down. Telltale has announced that they had to let go. This is about 2 weeks ago. Um, Telltale announced that they were releasing about 400 employees or 200 employees.
I thought it was 200 or 250 or something.
250, I think you're right, about 250 employees. They were trying to make some changes, but they ran out of time, they said. Um, and so at first you're like, oh, that really sucks for Telltale. Like they were making really good games. And then some stuff has come out since, um, such as they were not going to pay severance packages to any of the employees they fired. And so you kind of, it's hard to feel for a company that would do that to their employees. So there are people who are, they don't have insurance now. They don't have anything to fall back on. They have to hope they can find a job pretty soon. Luckily, though, the gaming community comes together, and there were a lot of like Ubisoft San Francisco has holding a meet and greet with different developers from Telltale. That was really cool of them. Different companies were reaching out to the Telltale people, being like, "Hey, do you job like come interview here?" So that was really cool to see. Um, and so Telltale also announced that there was going to be a skeleton crew of about 25 workers who were going to stay on, and they were going to finish The Walking Dead. But that the Stranger Things game that was announced earlier this year and the second season of The Wolf Among Us that got announced early this year were completely canceled. But they were going to have the skeleton crew finish this season. Um, as of today, it was announced that that skeleton crew has been let go. So they also were not going to get severance, and they're not going to get any of their insurance stuff. So that really sucks. Like, you don't ever want to see that, especially in this day and age. And Telltale made an announcement that they're trying to make a deal with other partners so that The Walking Dead's final season could get finished. But I personally, I just let it go
Yeah.
and pay your workers. That's like almost 300 people who are going to be hurting for a while there. So it sucks. It's really bad news. Saying what's your take on it?
It's horrible, and I was just like I was surprised by the lawsuit that was placed against Telltale, the class action lawsuit from the employees,
Oh yes.
because apparently I did not know this. There are federal laws and also state laws in California that say if a company is going to lay off a certain percentage of their workforce or this many people at once, you have to give them 60 days notice, like written notice that this is going to happen, and like that's their period to get their affairs in order, trying to find something else. They've got like a cushion window there, and this company just didn't do that. And I think there was some way around it for the federal. There was like some exemption thing, but there's not one for the state of California. So, I mean, I think they definitely have something for this lawsuit. And I'm glad that that's in place. Like, you don't think about things like that, but it's like nice to know that there are safeguards in place like that to try to make companies be accountable and take care of their people. So I hope that that goes well and is ruled in favor of the employees. But I just don't understand like what this company was thinking. I mean, when you're in trouble. A company knows when it's in trouble, and they know when something is coming. And the fact that you just hid it, tried to cover it up and pretend like everything's going to be okay, like I don't understand that mindset. And it's just like so disappointing that people would treat their employees that way. So I don't know.
And I'm definitely curious to see the full story come out about this because like as far as known, like they just did a big deal with Netflix for the Stranger Things game. So you're thinking like, oh, they're probably good. But like it was like well known that they were trying to update their engine. They were trying to get out of the engine they've been using for so long because they is always like we played Batman Telltale Season 1 and like you ran into problems all the time. So like they were like, oh, let's get off this engine. Like it's always causing problems for our episodes. Let's get on a new engine. So I wonder if that switch just cost them too much money. But like it's hard to tell. But yeah, like this, it really sucks to see. And we hope that those people who lost their job can find a new job quickly and be okay. So yeah, our thoughts are with them.
Yeah. And thanks to them for all of the great stuff that they produced over the years, because there have been some really great stuff in the Telltale games, and just like kind of seems like just that type of game. It's like it was a landmark, like what they started doing and the way they were telling stories. And I think there's a ton of games out there that probably wouldn't exist if the Telltale games didn't come first. So we're lucky to have had them.
But moving on to a little bit more exciting news, away from the negative. So, it was revealed last night, or this week, that there's going to be a new Nintendo Switch coming in 2019. And there's a lot of speculation that it's going to come with higher specs so it can run more games. But Sam, what would you want for a brand new Nintendo Switch? What do you hope it is? Do you think it's going to be like how the 3DS always gets those 3DS XLs? Do you think it's going to be huge?
What I want is not a damn thing. I've got my Switch right there, and I don't need a whole nother updated console to make me feel like my little Switch back there is not good enough. So I don't need anything else. I don't want anything else. I mean, if they just do, it sounds like it's possible that it'll be like more simple things, not like big changes, where they do just like make changes to the screen and the graphics quality and stuff like that. And like, yeah, that's fine. That's cool. Maybe they would have like some new Joy-Cons that would be more different style.
I do wonder if this could be a Switch that is handheld only. Like the Joy-Cons don't remove, like they're fastened to it. But like the issue I see with that, because I've seen people speculate that, like Andrew Renee, I think, said that. I see the issue with that is they've made such a market for those Joy-Cons, like they sell them everywhere separately, that it'd be weird for them to suddenly change that.
And like, this is like a whole big thing about Switch is like, hey, you can take it and just go play with some friends. So you each pop up a Joy-Con, you each have one. I don't think they're gonna want to lose that. You're gonna like lose a lot of games being able to do co-op or competitive whatever against each other. So I don't think they would do that.
And like, you lose the ability for like those. That's if you make a switch that the Joy-Cons don't come off of, you lose the ability for like motion controls, kind of. Because usually you have mount. Well, I guess you could
You
still
could still
tilt
do
it. 'Cause,
some
like
stuff with
I
that.
played Zelda and would tilt it for puzzles.
Um,
Okay, see.
I mean, there'd been talk at some point that like they would make a Switch option that doesn't come with a dock, which that's possible, but I feel like the dock is not that expensive. So I feel like you're not gonna save much money if you don't get the dock. Um,
I
but
think I think it's just safe to bet that this is a more powerful Switch
yeah,
that can like um almost like a Switch like a how the PS4 Pro is like not
yeah.
really it's always a step of it plays 4K really.
Oh yeah, so the
Um
new Switch is gonna be 4K, FYI. That's the big
yeah, totally.
surprise. It's gonna look
So
great, you
this would be
guys.
like like an upgraded Switch. But like I think Nintendo is smart enough to know like if you're making a game for this Switch, you has to be able to run maybe at lower quality on the original Switch.
Yeah, yes. Because I think they said somewhere I read that, like, all games will be compatible with both, so it's not like a whole new thing. I
Yeah,
think one thing that hopefully maybe they would put in the new one is Bluetooth compatibility. So if they wanted to have Bluetooth speakers, headphones, you'd be able to
that
do
would be
that
nice.
instead
Yeah,
of having to do that dongle. But yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
But we should find out more closer to beginning of next year because this is supposed to launch in the mid 2019. So that's
yeah.
not that far from now. So yeah. Our friend Max had a question revolving around the Switch though, Sam. What was that question?
She said, "Do you think the Switch would be as popular as it is if it had no handheld mold? I'm sorry, handheld mode. It was just a console."
That's tough because I think for it's different for different people. So like we listen to Kind of Funny and What's Good Games, and they always talk about like how good the Switch is because you get on an airplane, you can play it, you can take it with you and play it. But then there are people like who just play it in console mode only. If it was just a home console, I think it still would be fine. Um, because the Nintendo has always been a family and kid friendly device. Like that's always what they've been
Mm.
about. They've never been about like we're the we're the gaming console if you want to play like Call of Duty or Destiny. Like they've always been about like, hey, this is for get together. The Wii was all about getting your family together and like playing Wii bowling, something like that. Um, so I think it could still be successful. Would it be as successful as the Switch is now? Probably not. I don't think it'd be doing it as well. Um, I think they've got a nice thing going where, the if you want to dock it, you can dock it. If you want to bring it with you, you can bring it with you. So yeah. No, I don't think if it was a home console only, I don't think it'd be doing as well.
Yeah, I definitely don't think it would be doing as well. I mean, the portability and just being able to take it is like such a selling feature for this. Because I mean, if it were just docked all the time, yes, it would be great for your kids. Yeah, they'd have fun with it. And you'd have your Mario Odyssey and your Zelda that were like big, yeah, these games are awesome, but like anything else, people who have multiple consoles, they'd probably just play everything else on their other consoles. Like there wouldn't be a huge draw to get stuff on the Switch.
Yeah.
I think the portability is really what makes it so good. And I mean, I think if it were just portable and didn't dock, I think it would be more successful than if it were just a console and not portable. But, it's both and it's fantastic.
Yeah.
So we're lucky that we have.
I mean, I think legitimately I've put it in the dock one time and it was play Mario Odyssey one time in docked, and then I've always just played it handheld. I've never played it in a dock ever.
See, and I dock it all the time. Like I
Yeah.
rarely actually take it places. Like if I'm going on a trip, I'll take it, but I don't like playing in handheld because it's like it makes my hands get worn out more quickly doing that than just playing with a controller. So I usually do play it docked, but like I don't know. I still think it wouldn't do as good if it didn't have that portability because I'm the exception.
No. Oh. All right. was a pretty good episode, I feel like. We got to a lot of news. We caught up on some stuff we've been playing.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Thank you guys so much for listening. We do ask if you enjoy the podcast to give us a review on iTunes, Spotify, whatever you're listening on or watching on. You can find us on Twitter and Facebook at Geek Games. You can find our YouTube videos, which we will have a brand new season of Two Guardians starting this week at geekcardgames.com/YouTube. We're not there yet.
It's a tough one.
Then we have our Twitch streams, which you'll be able to watch both community nights and Extra Life stuff at twitch.tv/geekcardgames. And for Extra Life, remember you can go to geekcardgames.com/extralife to get to the donation website. And remember, you can donate to any member of the podcast posse. We greatly appreciate any money you do. You can buy a shirt at geekcardgames.com/shirts. And you can you can get into our Discord where we talk about crazy things, such as Nicolas Cage and all the great movies he's in and how Megs is wrong. At geekcardgames.com/Discord.
I don't know if it's just something with the audio, but like every time you say Nicolas Cage, I briefly hear Dickolas Cage, and I'm like, God, I don't know what's wrong.
Do not sully that man's great name. Do not sully it. I'll come for you.
I can't help it. I don't know.
Anyways, you can join our Discord at geekcardgames.com/Discord. That's everything, right?
I think that's everything.
You can follow me at Comic Book Cody. Yeah.
I'm at SKSUVAK.
All right, and thank you guys so much again. We will see you next week. Take it away, Sam.
We're just two geeks who heart games. Do 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 do. Yeah.
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 Solstice of Heroes.
Solstice of Heroes.
I was walking through the living room just now. My family was watching Wheel of Fortune, and I believe it was supposed to be bridal and bold shower, but the woman said bridal and gold showers, and my mom responded to that, "What is a gold shower?"
Oh no!
And I lost it. I just started cackling really loudly.
Did you have to explain it to her, or did you just let it go?
God, I was not telling her that. That's disgusting. Wow,
does your dad know what it is?
I hope not. I'm sure it does, actually. It's my dad, to be honest.
Oh,
yeah.
That's too bad.
It was weird.